Well, how's everybody doing, internet friends? I'm doing the same as normal, except for I have discovered I have an allergy to my cats, so my voice has been kind of raspy for the last several days, so I haven't been doing videos trying to rest my voice up. Started taking some allergy medicine. But anyway, one of my earlier videos I talked to y'all about um, the First Amendment, you know, free speech, free religion. But tonight, I want to talk about the 22nd Amendment. That's the amendment that prohibits presidents for running for more than and holding office for more than 2 terms. And this one is interesting. And it's interesting to me because it was first introduced by the Republican Party in 1947, and that was in answer to Franklin Delano Roosevelt having been um, elected 4 times and won 4 times the presidency of the United States. And so the Republicans decided that we needed to have an amendment to the Constitution, going back to the original um, quote of George Washington, uh, saying that 2 terms is enough in office. Now, of course, at that point, it wasn't brought up to become a constitutional amendment, not until uh, 1947 when it was ratified in 1951. So it passed, and 2 terms is just fine for president. Uh, and anyway, basically, it says no person shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice. Okay. And no person who has held the office of president or acted as president for more than 2 years of a term to which some other person was elected president shall be elected to the office of the president more than once. But this article shall not apply to any person holding the office of president when the article was proposed by the Congress. So, in other words, this article was proposed during Truman's administration. In other words, that if he wanted to run again, he would have been allowed to. Okay, he chose not to, which is, well, I don't know. I wasn't around in 1951, so I can't speak to that. I love history, but I am not a student of history. And if I have any questions about history, I look it up because if you have a question, you ask the question to whoever can best answer it. And if you are asking a question and you want an answer to that question, you really honestly want um, the truth. Okay. I don't know of anyone who wants to be lied to 24/7. And that is why I'm having such an issue with Trump, and all of his, um, you know, fans that go around, thinking that he's the greatest thing since chocolate milk because he's not. And why would you want to be lied to all the time? I mean, seriously, who wants to be lied to all the time? It's crazy to me. I don't want to be lied to all the time. I don't want to be lied to at all. And if I have an elected official that says something that sounds fishy, I'm going to look it up and I'm going to find out for myself. And I'm going to say, you know what? That's wrong. Of course, I probably won't ever be in a position to tell that elected person that it's wrong. I would like to be, but I'm just a girl, gal, woman, whatever. Anyway, um, shall not prevent any person who may be holding the office of president or acting president during the term within which this article becomes operative from holding the office of the president or acting as president during the remainder of such term. Okay, because as you know, we all know that Truman was vice president when Franklin Delano Roosevelt passed away. And I wasn't here at that time either, but I've seen little video clips of FDR's funeral procession, and wow, amazing. If you ever get an opportunity, look it up. Um, so there's the 22nd Amendment ratified in 1951, brought forth by the Republicans in answer to FDR's 4 times winning the presidency. So they didn't want to have that happen again. So that's when they introduced the 22nd Amendment for term limits. And term limits are not a bad thing at all because this country was founded on being a democratic republic, a constitutional republic. In other words, we live by and are governed by the Constitution of the United States, and we are a country that didn't want to be ruled by a king. Um, so this is the government that we have. But the problem with the government that we have is that we only have two parties. We have the Republicans and we have the Democrats. And there are problems in this country that desperately need to be solved. We all know this. Um, this country definitely needs to improve the healthcare system. You know, many countries in Europe have universal healthcare. They have low to no cost colleges and universities. They have very little gun violence, and they do not have 40,000 people a year being their lives being ended from gun violence. They do not have school shootings. Um, we, on the other hand, live in a country that we have more guns than people. Now, given the fact that we have the Second Amendment, it was quite obviously very important to the framers. Otherwise, it wouldn't have a two in front of it. But if they would have seen, if they would have had the foresight to see the weapons of mass destructions that people can hold in their hands, they might have thought twice about it. Um, but that's a topic for another day. But we are governed by laws. We are a nation of laws, and those laws should apply to all of us, not just some of us, all of us. And if somebody breaks the law, and it shouldn't matter how much money they have in their bank account, they should be held accountable. That that's it. That's the long and the short of it. We have the Epstein class that aren't being held accountable for squat. And then we have our Pledge of Allegiance, and at the end of it, with liberty and justice for all. Um, and now we have our Epstein class, and they think it should be liberty and justice for some. Well, That's not right. Hey, I've got a gazillion dollars, so I am held to a different set of laws. I don't have to answer for my screw ups. That ain't true. They need to answer more for their screw ups because their screw ups are huge. Er. But again, conversation for another day. But anyway, then I think about some of the Republicans that we have serving in Congress right now. And the question I have for y'all is, aren't you tired of it? Aren't you tired of lying for this guy in the Oval Office? Aren't you tired of lying for Trump? Aren't you tired of telling the American people that gas prices aren't high, especially when you know that we can see for ourselves that they are? I mean, over $4 a gallon for regular gas. And if you put mid grade in, you're going to pay at least 20 cents more. And if you put premium in your gas tank, you're going to pay at least 30 cents more. So here we have these people that are lying for Trump to give him cover, and then you got people that, are total Trump supporters that believe all the bullshit. And I have to ask my question why they believe it. I mean, they're out there every day, as we all are, and they go to the grocery store and they see how much more expensive everything is, and they go and put gas in their cars and they know how much more expensive gas is. They can see it with their own eyes, but yet they choose to stand behind their guy, even though their guy could give a shit about them. And that's the true about the Republican Party, period. Okay? Republicans could give a shit about their constituents. They don't care. They're not running because they want to help you out. They're running because they want to help themselves out. They're running because they want to become millionaires, billionaires, gazillion, whatever. Republicans have no interest in governing, and they have no interest in doing anything to make your life better, to make my life better. They don't run on policy, what they would do if they were in office. No, they run on culture war bullshit. I mean, come on, trans people, who cares? The operative word there of trans people is people, okay? Same way with black and brown people. They're people, same as you and me. They have the same rights. They want the same things. They want to live their lives, and they want to be comfortable while they do it. So Republicans don't care about anyone other than themselves. They okay, that's just going to get me off on another rant. But then you have your Democrats that are your status quo people. They don't want to fix some of these things because they want something to run on. You know, um, Universal health care, raising the minimum wage, you know, making sure that Social Security is there for another generation. They don't want to fix the problem, they want to run on the problem. But see, here's the thing. If you fix the problem, it's not like there's not going to be another problem that won't come up, because we all know it will. Problems come up all the time. So there's that. Anyway, like I said, I haven't recorded for a few days, and I'm going to try and record some more. And I'm going to end this here. So thank you, internet friends, for listening to my rant. And y'all take care of yourselves wherever you are.